The young disciple felt a constant weight on his chest. No matter how carefully he spoke or how honestly he acted, people always seemed to misunderstand him. Their opinions followed him like shadows, forcing him to explain himself again and again, hoping one day he would finally be understood. Tired and confused, he went to the Shaolin master and asked why his truth was never enough for others. The master did not answer immediately. He led the disciple outside the temple to a high place where a massive mountain stood in the distance, silent and unmoving. The master pointed toward it and remained quiet. Minutes passed. The disciple grew uncomfortable and finally asked what the mountain had to do with his problem. Still, the master said nothing. The wind moved, clouds passed, and the mountain remained exactly as it was. At last, the master spoke softly. He asked the disciple whether the mountain ever explained why it stood tall, why it existed, or why it did not bow to the wind. The disciple shook his head. The master explained that the mountain did not need to justify its presence. It simply was. Those who admired it came on their own, and those who ignored it lost nothing but their own chance to see its strength. The master then turned to the disciple and said that people who truly understand you will never demand explanations, while those who are determined to misunderstand you will never be satisfied by them. Every explanation given to the wrong ears is a piece of your peace taken away. The more you try to defend yourself, the more power you give to the opinions of others. As they walked back to the temple, the disciple felt something shift inside him. He realized that silence was not weakness, but confidence. Like the mountain, he did not need to prove his height or strength. From that day on, he chose to stand firm in who he was, allowing his actions and character to speak for him, while his silence protected his inner peace. The traveler stormed into the Shaolin temple with anger burning in his eyes. In his hands he held a cracked cup, blaming a monk for breaking it during the night. The monk listened calmly, his face peaceful, his posture relaxed. Though the accusation was false, he did not raise his voice or rush to defend himself. He simply bowed his head and accepted the blame without a single explanation. Other monks watched in disbelief. They whispered among themselves, wondering why he would allow such injustice to pass. After the traveler left, their confusion grew into frustration. They questioned the Shaolin master, asking why the monk had remained silent when the truth could easily have been spoken. To them, silence looked like surrender. The master gently lifted the broken cup and examined it. He then asked the monks whether the cup had been broken before the traveler arrived or after. No one could answer with certainty. The master explained that the crack in the cup was less important than the crack in the traveler's mind. His anger had already decided the truth. Words spoken to such a mind would not heal anything, they would only deepen the conflict. He told them that when someone comes with blame already formed, explanations fall on closed ears. Defending yourself in such moments is like pouring clean water into a dirty vessel, it becomes polluted instantly. The monk's silence was not weakness but wisdom, a choice to protect inner peace rather than win an argument that could never be won. The lesson settled deeply among the monks. They understood that not every accusation deserves a response, and not every misunderstanding requires correction. Sometimes, the greatest strength is knowing when to let go. By refusing to explain himself, the monk kept his calm, allowing the storm to pass without entering his heart. The disciple walked beside the Shaolin master along a dusty village road, his mind restless and heavy. Earlier that day, a group of villagers had laughed at him, mocking his robes and questioning his discipline. Though he tried to remain composed, their words pierced him. He replayed the insults again and again in his thoughts, wishing he had said something clever, something powerful, something that would have silenced them. Unable to hold his frustration any longer, he turned to the master and asked why people felt the need to criticize what they did not understand. The master stopped walking and looked up at the night sky. The moon was bright and calm, floating above the quiet earth. In the distance, the barking of stray dogs echoed through the village. The master asked gently, "Do dogs bark because the moon listens?" The disciple frowned, unsure of the meaning. The barking continued, loud and restless, yet the moon remained exactly where it was, untouched, unchanged, and undisturbed. It did not argue. It did not descend from the sky to defend its light. It simply continued to shine. The master explained that people often speak from their own fears, jealousy, and insecurities. When they see someone walking a different path, it unsettles them. Their words are not always about you, they are about the storms within themselves. If you stop to respond to every insult, you allow their noise to control your direction. You step down from your path to enter their chaos. The disciple began to understand. Each explanation he had imagined giving would only keep him tied to their opinions. By reacting, he would prove that their words had power over him. But by remaining calm and continuing forward, he would show true strength. Confidence does not argue, it moves quietly toward its purpose. As they resumed their walk, the barking slowly faded behind them. The moon still shone brightly above, untouched by the noise below. In that moment, the disciple felt lighter. He realized that peace was not found in winning arguments, but in refusing to fight battles that did not deserve his energy. From then on, he chose to be like the moon, steady, silent, and beyond the reach of barking dogs. The student came to the Shaolin master one morning, his face pale with worry and frustration. He had been falsely accused by someone in the village of a dishonest act he did not commit, and his first instinct had been to defend himself. He wanted to speak, to show the world his truth, to prove that he was honest and upright. Yet, despite his efforts, people seemed unwilling to listen. Their minds were already made up, their judgment clouded, and every word he spoke was met with doubt or dismissal. Seeing his unease, the master handed him a small, polished mirror. The student looked into it, confused, expecting some hidden lesson to appear on its surface. The master spoke softly, "If you know your face is clean, why wipe it every time someone says it's dirty?" The student frowned, trying to understand. The master continued, explaining that truth does not depend on the approval of others. Your integrity, your actions, your heart, these are what matter, not the ever-changing opinions of those around you. When you over-explain, you show uncertainty where there should be certainty. You hand over the power of your peace to those who do not seek to understand. Each explanation is like a stone thrown into still water, creating ripples that disturb your own calm. He told the student that inner certainty is quiet. It does not shout, argue, or insist. It stands firm, even when the world doubts it. The mirror reflected not just the student's face but the lesson within him. Clarity comes from knowing yourself, not from convincing others. From that day, the student learned to trust his own awareness of truth. He spoke when necessary, acted with integrity, but he stopped pleading for belief. The peace he had been searching for was no longer found in external validation but within himself. His reflection in the mirror remained clear and steady, untouched by the opinions of the world.